Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight, we're diving into a developing story that has Lakers Nation buzzing with delight, and every tweet and comment seems to circle back to one man, Steve Kerr. That's right, while Golden State battles for its playoff life, our Cross Bay rivals are practically salivating at the thought of Kerr's tenure unraveling. Are the Lakers fans onto something? Could Kerr's recent decisions really be the beginning of the end for a coach who once redefined modern basketball? Let's unpack the drama, sift through the numbers, and ask the questions everyone's whispering in LA sports bars. It all blew up after Wednesday's Game 4 collapse against Minnesota, where a puzzling four-big lineup in the third quarter triggered a 39-point barrage by the Timberwolves and turned a 4-point halftime lead into a 20-point deficit. Yes, a 24-point swing in a single quarter, the largest playoff swing in Minnesota history. Lakers fans on social media are calling it Kerr's most embarrassing moment, tagging clips of missed three after missed three, juxtaposed with Wolves drains from three different platforms. One post read, "If Kerr coached the Lakers, Kobe would be spinning in his grave." Harsh? Absolutely. But it illustrates the vindictive thrill some are getting from Golden State's pain. On ESPN's after-show panel, critics grilled Kerr's in-game adjustments. Why stick with a lineup giving up 39 in 10 minutes? Why persist with Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga's minutes allocation when both struggled defensively? Lakers commentators couldn't resist. Luke Walton would have benched them. Kerr lost the team. Is this the end of small ball? And in the comment sections of every highlight, you see Lakers jerseys, purple and gold avatars, cheering the missteps. It's as if they believe Kerr's downfall is our opportunity, an opening for their own franchise to gain psychological edge over a once invincible opponent. Now, let's dig into the specifics. Statistically, Klay Thompson went 2 for 10 in the third quarter, Jordan Poole missed all 4 attempts, and Quinn Cook attempted 0 field goals despite being a spark bench presence earlier in the season. Draymond's plus-minus, -17 in that period. Even Curry, limited by a hamstring strain, watched from the bench as the floor became a shooter's graveyard, per Draymond's post-game lament. Lakers threads pounced. This team isn't even clutch anymore. They need new blood. Kerr's system is broken. Could it be that Kerr's era is peaking, and perhaps even past its prime? Some insiders whisper that ownership is quietly monitoring his media availability, noting that his trademark composure seems rattled when analysts question his rotations. Lakers fans are speculating wildly. Maybe Kerr should return to the bench as an assistant to a fresh head coach. Some chuckle. Others go further. He should come back to LA and coach the Lakers. Maybe he'll win there. The sheer audacity underscores how starved they are for any Golden State misstep. Here's the irony. Lakers fans expected head coach Darvin Ham to be under fire, not Kerr, yet as the Warriors scramble to figure out Game 5, Lakers Nation is gleefully tweeting, Kerr out, and doo-doo, Warriors, rebuild. They draw parallels to the post-Phil Jackson rebuilding era, suggesting Golden State could be on the brink of its own reset. Some even claim inside sources told them Warriors management has begun drafting contingency plans in case Kerr loses. The locker room. Remember, Kerr's contract runs through 2027-28. But rumors say teams weigh internal options even when a coach is locked in long-term. Of course, we must temper this with reality. Kerr has 5 championships, a .707 playoff winning percentage, and the kind of resume any front office would kill for. He navigated the Warriors through injury-plagued seasons, reinvented defensive schemes, and gave rise to multiple All-Stars beyond his cornerstone trio. So, is this truly the beginning of the end, or just a brutal one-game aberration amplified by a rival fan base? Could Kerr use this as a wake-up call, return to his small ball wizardry but adjust his bench rotation for maximum floor spacing? We've seen him adapt before, pivoting from double big to hybrid 5-outs in the blink of an eye. Is it possible that this entire Lakers frenzy is just fear-driven glee? The noise of desperate fans reaching for anything that cracks the aura of invincibility around the Warriors? Or might there be genuine cracks in Kerr's armor that LA is rightly sensing? Could this be the beginning of a seismic shift in the NBA power structure? Some insiders believe that if Golden State drops Game 5 on the road, ownership might start airing grievances privately, focusing on Kerr's handling of player rotations, the integration of firepower beyond Curry, and the balance between offense and defense. As a lifelong Warriors devotee who secretly roots for a competitive, healthy Lakers rivalry, I'm torn. On one hand, I want Kerr to prove every doubter wrong, to reinvent the approach, and to remind the league why he's the gold standard. On the other, I can't deny the allure of a what if. What if a fresh voice in the huddle, a new strategic mind, could unlock untapped potential in our roster? Could it be time for a bold adjustment? At the helm, or is loyalty to Kerr's formula the only path forward? One final speculation to chew on. Could Kerr himself be planting these narratives, allowing the media circus to rattle opponents, only to strike back with a tactical masterclass in Game 6? A double bluff worthy of a chess champion. It's the kind of narrative twist you can't script. Stay tuned as we unpack every rotation change, every sideline gesture, and every post-game sound bite in the coming hours. On Warriors News Fan Report, we'll break down Kerr's next moves, analyze whether Lakers fans are onto something real, and track the ripple effects across the league. Because if the Warriors dynasty is truly at a crossroads, we will be right. Here for every pivotal moment, no matter how wild the narrative gets. If you've been glued to every twist in this Western Conference thriller, smash that like button, hit subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring that bell right now, because the fallout from Game 4 is rewriting the narrative around Steve's. Kerr and Lakers fans are gleefully piling on the criticism. Let's be honest. When Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga exploded for 20-plus points upon returning to the rotation, only to watch the Wolves rip off a historic 22-point swing in the third quarter, even casual observers smelled blood in the water. Now imagine being a Lakers fan, exiled from contention this season, and watching Kerr's decisions unravel before their eyes. Social media ignited with posts like, Kerr's lineup experiment cost the Warriors the series, and did he even have a plan for Kuminga's minutes distribution? From Lakers Nation to local radio call-in shows, the common refrain is that Kerr has lost his touch, turning a competitive, championship-caliber roster into a dysfunctional shambles. Critics point to the Game 4 deployment of a 4-big lineup against a Wolfpack determined to push pace and space. Is that Kerr's masterstroke? Hardly. When Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns sliced through those mismatches for easy baskets, it looked less like a strategic chess move and more like a panic-driven scramble. Lakers fans loved it, tweeting out clip after clip of Golden State, missing open looks while Minnesota rained threes unchallenged. They ask, does Kerr even deserve to coach next season? That question, once unthinkable, now bubbles up in comment threads across Reddit and Twitter. And then there's PAJ, the point guard thrust into an unenviable role, 9 of 40 shooting across 4 games of this series. That lands him in a Statistical Hall of Shame alongside Trevor Ariza and Eric Bledsoe, per Josh Dodd's AP report. Lakers talk show hosts seized on this, arguing Kerr's inability to find a reliable second or third scoring option beyond Steph Curry is proof his bench management is fundamentally flawed. They allege Kerr is holding on to a favorite son narrative, trusting familiar faces over emerging talent at the expense of in-game adaptability. Wardell got hurt and Kerr was left scrambling, one caller snarled on a late-night Lakers fan podcast. If Luke Walton did this, he'd be canned by Christmas. Could this be the tipping point? Is it possible that a coach once hailed for revolutionizing basketball with small ball experimentation now clings to formulas that no longer work? Some insiders whisper that Kerr's contract, already locked in through 2027 to 28, could face internal review. Would the Warriors brass really consider a coaching change if they see Kerr's in-game adjustments failing when it matters most? From Ian, a Lakers fan's perspective, it's not just wishful thinking. It's a tantalizing what if that could spark seismic front office maneuvers across the league. Yet, let's take a step back and remember, this is Steve Kerr, the coach with 5 championships on his resume. He's navigated the NBA's toughest gauntlets and turned a mid-level bench into an all-star core. Is it fair to judge one playoff run riddled with injuries and sudden lineup shifts? Kerr himself addressed his critics post-game, admitting, "We lost our ability to connect in that third quarter. I thought the bigger lineup might slow their attack, but it backfired. We've got to own that." In that moment, Kerr showed the same willingness to shoulder blame that endeared him to Warriors fans throughout the dynasty years. The question is whether that humility will translate into better adjustments for Game 5 from the Lakers fans' standpoint. The narrative has shifted dramatically. If only we had Kerr, some argue tongue-in-cheek, imagining a world where a stable coach could leverage their own core of talent. Others note that Kerr's willingness to guard his young stars with real playoff minutes sends a message of trust that no coach on their bench could replicate. Curry's absence forced Kerr into a call-and-response dance that left him vulnerable. So imagine what a healthy Warriors squad under Kerr could achieve. Now, what comes next? Warriors News Fan Report will be tracking every nuanced lineup change, every substitution pattern, and every sideline exchange. If Kerr reverts to the high-octane small-ball lineups that once brought glory, will the Wolves counter with bigger bodies? If he leans into a more traditional attack to staunch the bleeding, can his shooters find their stroke under pressure? And above all, can he silence the Lakers' barbs by unleashing a Game 5 masterpiece that proves he's still the game's greatest X's and O's mind? As a die-hard Warriors fan with a small Lakers-esque curiosity about how the other half lives, I can't help but marvel at this clash of narratives. Will Kerr rise from the ashes and remind the world why his coaching record remains unmatched? Or will this be the series that becomes the clearest blemish on an otherwise sterling legacy? Only time will tell. For now, we stay locked on the court, listening to every pop of the ball, every whistle, every lineup call. Stay tuned right here on Warriors News Fan Report, where we dissect every play, decode every sideline gesture, and keep you close to the pulse of the Bay Area's greatest forces. Because in the world of playoff basketball, the line between hero and villain is as thin as a free throw line, and no one tells that story quite like we do.